but the Soviet Union collapsed, what is the SDI program for? Let me tell you what's going to happen. Where do these crop circles come from? What are they developing in space? Lasers, beam weapons, aren't they? You know that if you can direct a concentrated beam of microwaves at a wheat field, you too can make crop circles. What are these crop circles telling us? Extraterrestrials are real. The Earth Mother is suffering. Read all these translations of the crop circles. And everything points to, you better join a one-world government. It's not being done by aliens. It's being done by the SDI program. What does it mean if they can beam microwaves to the Earth, right on target, and make complicated designs in wheat fields? It means that they can single out one individual person and blast him with microwaves. And what happens when you blast flesh and bone with microwaves? It cooks. There will come a day when somebody will be walking down the street. Mark my words, I make this prediction, and I swear upon the Bible that it will come true. A man will be walking down the street and burst in flames as he walks. Mark my words.
Spontaneous human combustion.
That will happen. Yes.
Why would the Bilderberg Society feel compelled to dump George Bush?
George Bush is too dirty. He's dripping with muck. He is in imminent danger of being impeached.
So, but isn't he?
So they have decided to give him an easy out. He doesn't have to resign. He's just going to get beat, and they'll blame it on Perot. And Perot is also a 33rd degree Freemason, as is George Bush, as is Bill Clinton. You've been set up. You've been screwed because you didn't ask the right questions. And all these people who said, I'm going to vote for Perot, I don't care what his policy is, we just need change. Well, you're going to get it. You're going to get change. You're going to get what you want if you were one of those people. Yes?
Actually, right, because when Arthur Walters was interviewing Perot as to the reason why he did it, he says, for the best of the people. My decision is for the best of every beach. He says, but you got a lot of bleeding hearts.
He knows what to say, doesn't he? The question is, do you know what to believe? Now, understand this. No matter what I say up here during this lecture, it's to make a point, and I don't mean anything personal toward anybody in this room, period. But if I have an opportunity to make a point, I never pass it up, because I may not get that opportunity again. I love, I care about each and every one of you. That's why I'm doing this. If I didn't, I wouldn't waste my time on you. So if you feel affronted by anything I say, please reevaluate that, because I don't mean to affront anyone. I'm trying to make you see the meaning of what is happening in the world. And what has that got to do with Groom Lake? Everything. What better way to unite all humanity in a one-world government than if we were attacked by some other species from some other planet? And every time someone sees one of these craft flying in the air, they say, extraterrestrials. They must have X-ray vision. I've never seen who's in those craft. Yes?
If the phoenix, the bird, rebirths itself every 500 years, and October 12, 1492, Columbus sailed to discover the new world, do you think October 12, 1992, 500 years later?
Absolutely, yes.
What do you think it'll be?
You can watch for a major catastrophe of some kind or the beginning of a third world war. It could be anything. But something will happen, yes, because it always does. You have to understand that numbers are significant to the secret societies. And if you look at the major events in history, they conform to this coding of the gematria in these numbers. President Kennedy was assassinated on November the 22nd, 1963. And if you take all of that out using, adding up these numbers, what you get is 666. November 22nd was the date that the leaders of the Knights, not November 22nd, but the 22nd day of the month was the date that the leaders of the Knights Templar were burned at the stake. November is the 11th month. 11 and 11 is 22. Any way you play with those numbers, it comes up to the symbology of the secret societies. President Kennedy was not assassinated by the government or the mafia or homosexual Cubans or anything else. He was assassinated by members of the secret societies from the agencies of the CIA, the Office of Naval Intelligence, of which I was a part, Division 5 of the FBI, and the Secret Service. Dealey Plaza is on the 33rd parallel. In Dealey Plaza is a plaque commemorating the location of the first Masonic temple in the state of Texas. Why don't they ever show that on television? President Kennedy was shot in the back at the position of the heart, in the throat, and in the head. The exact wounds suffered by the man in the Masonic initiation known as Hiram Abiff, who was struck by a blow to the chest, a blow to the throat, and a blow to the head by the state, the church, and the mob. And their goal is to avenge his death by destroying the church, the state, and the mob. The assassination of John F. Kennedy was a blow to the Catholic Church by the Freemasons in a Masonic country that dared to elect a Catholic as president. But why do you see all these shows? That John F. Kennedy was a womanizer to convince you that he wasn't worthy of being president, so you shouldn't care who assassinated him. Wake up.
When did that happen? When was the Knights Templar what year?
Anybody got that off the top of their head? I didn't bring that with me. That's easy to look up. Any other questions? Yes.
I want to just make a statement, and I'd like to just, my statement is...
Talk real loud.
Okay, it's interesting that number one, this has been male-dominated civilizations for quite a long while. And it's interesting that the forefathers were male, and women aren't allowed, weren't allowed. And I would just like to mention to the women here in the group that you have a lot more power and equality than this man.
I second that emotion.
And it's time that we really get clear about that. Clear.
Here's what it's time that we do, that we all come together and grant each other the same that we would grant ourselves and become once again Americans and nothing else. Not left, not right, not Democrat, not Republican, not man, not woman, but Americans. And there is one religious teaching that I believe is the best teaching. I don't care what you believe, and that is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Love thy neighbor as thyself. And it doesn't matter who said it. It doesn't matter whether you believe in God or Jesus Christ or not. That is what we need today amongst us. And we can work miracles if we work together. Because one of the biggest and best tools that the secret societies use against us is to divide us against each other while they conquer us all. Christian against Jew, black against white, women against men, abortion against anti-abortion, flag burners against anti-flag burners, people that want to change the Constitution of people that don't. If you're an American, you better leave the Constitution alone. That's all there is to it. That is America. One thing that Americans have never understood is that the United States of America is the Constitution. It doesn't exist anywhere else. And if you change that document, you change this nation. If you tear it up, you have destroyed this nation. Because that document is this nation. And without it, there is no nation, and there is no freedom. There is nothing. And understand this, whether you believe in God or not, you better profess a belief in God, because God is the only thing that gives man inalienable rights that cannot be taken away. If there is no God, man is no different from any other animal on this earth, can be enslaved legally and rightfully and lawfully by anyone powerful enough to do it. That's why the concept of God appeared amongst men in the first place. Whether he exists or not, he must exist, or man is nothing. rest my case.